There are growing calls to extend the statute of limitations for prosecution of domestic violence, especially in the light of the Diddy Combe security video of him beating his then girlfriend back in 2016. The LA County District Attorney's Office says they can't file any criminal charges because the incident is outside the current statute of limitations. Here now to tell us about efforts in Sacramento to expand protections is State Senator Susan Rubio. Senator, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
First up, Senator, for those who don't know, what are the current statute of limitations for cases like this?
Well, let me just begin by saying that California had not touched the statute of limitation for 30 years. When I started in 2019, I set out to change that. I did have a difficult time. I started with 20 years and I was forced to bring it down to 5. So in 2019, it went from 3 years to 5 years. Currently, I'm working on 15 years. This bill has been going through the process since last year. It's SB 690 that would extend the statute of limitations to 15, which I think would have helped Cassie in this case. So I just want to send out my, my heartfelt sadness to Cassie, because there's no one that saw the video that doesn't feel the pain, and she should have gotten justice. So hopefully this bill can help her.
Yeah, I'm sure it's very triggering. So right now you're saying it's 3 years, you pushed it to 5, and now you're hoping the new bill that you're introducing would set the statute of limitations at 15 years, which would give victims really a good enough time to step forward, maybe if they're scared or whatever the reason may be, right?
This is this is something that I talk a lot about, especially to just the general public. We have a misconception that victims are able just to get up and go. It doesn't work that way. So many victims are suffering in silence because, first of all, they're trying to stay safe. And when they have children or family members that may be in danger, they have to take those into consideration. So we have to allow victims to come out of that relationship or seek justice when they feel ready, and more importantly, when they feel safe. So giving them 15 years will allow that time for them to heal, seek the help that they need, and be able to come forward when they're ready. In this case, Cassie doesn't fit under the statute of limitation right now, which is at 5 years. And so hopefully my bill, SB 690, will help victims moving forward.
Senator, you said you were surprised that it took so much work just to get it moved just a few years. When you mention this case or any domestic violence case in mixed company, anyone would be almost offended that a victim can't come forward within a short amount of time. I mean, it is kind of mind-boggling, isn't it?
Well, I was really surprised when I set out to change it. Initially, it was 20 years. I didn't think I was going to run into opposition, because to me, it's common sense that if someone's being assaulted and hurt, it should have, they should have that ability to come forward. But I ran into that circumstance in 2019. Right now, it's moving through the process very smoothly, so I'm hopeful that we can get it done this year.
Wow, you are fighting the good fight, Senator. And one more question here. What can domestic violence victims do in the meantime if they are outside the statute of limitations?
Well, at this point, I just advise to keep all records, videos, audios, whatever they have. I did pass other bills, one in particular that's overlooked often. It's coercive control. And I want to tell victims out there, it doesn't always necessarily have to be a physical assault. Be vigilant. I passed coercive control that now victims can also use coercive control. For example, withholding basic necessities such as food, funding, whatever they need to survive. So that also could be brought in as supporting evidence. So hopefully they look into coercive control, which is a bill that I passed as well and can now be used. So just keep evidence, keep documenting.
This is a lot of great information. State Senator Susan Rubio, thanks for your time and insight, and please keep us posted on the bill's progress.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right, you too.